Whose boy are you? Huh? Yes. It's a cool horse.
Next, an accident on the practice track forces the family to make a life or death decision. Broadway Road, the farm's feisty young filly, will soon be ready to race. And after her last workout, the Bonifaces are convinced that she's on her way to greatness.
She's just so aggressive in everything she does, and she goes out there and she's highly competitive. She wants to do everything. She uses herself properly. She bows her neck. She does all the things you want a 2-year-old to do.
She's learned to focus her energy and kept her spirit.
If she jumped around a little bit, you just kind of had to deal with it, and she'd say, oh, okay, you're not going to be any fun today. Let's go ahead and do what we're supposed to do. You know, so you have to admire that about a horse, you know, when they have that much character.
On the morning of October 10th, her training started well. In fact, she was running faster than they wanted. Then, disaster. Broadway Road stumbled badly coming around the 3/8 pole. Her leg was shattered in 6 places. The Bonifaces rushed her to the vet, fearing the worst. Within the hour, they had the results. Her leg would never heal enough to support her weight. And if a horse can't stand, it can't live. To spare her further suffering, Broadway Road was put to sleep. It was one of the worst moments in the history of Bonita Farm.
We thought she had tremendous talent. It's a shame that, you know, a filly like her, that young in her life, that had to happen.
She knew she was good. She knew it. She was very confident, and she was beautiful. I mean, you know, she's one of the most beautiful horses I've ever seen.
Yeah, they say that anybody's attached to animals, they get that feeling. You read the Bible, and sometimes they say that souls are only given to mankind, but I don't know. She seemed like she had an awful lot of character and style, and there was something about her that was just as human as I see in people. So I sure hope that the Lord gives her a place up there in heaven somewhere.
Life at the farm goes on, as it must. The yearlings will soon graduate to the training barn, where the real racehorses live. But to gain full membership in that elite group, they have to show they have the right stuff. And today, it's time for Bud to meet the track. Billy won't ask him to do more than a slow jog, but it will still say a lot about his potential, because a racehorse has to do more than run fast. He must be able to respond to his rider.
That's it. Good one.
With Bud in excellent form, Billy indulges in some daydreams.
Come on, then we're down the stretch through the wire. To the wire, Bud. The desire.
And gives Bud the rundown on what he hopes for his future.
Go to the Derby, kick some butt, come back and win the Preakness. Okay? And then when you're done, I get all the mares in Maryland for you. How's that sound? You're smart enough to understand it, aren't you?
Bud has done well so far, but Billy will have to wait for next season before his racing career begins.
Good job, Bud. Oh.
Until then, Billy will keep hoping that the path he laid for Bud will end in the winner's circle. Coming up, will Deputed Testimony's son score a big win in the Maryland Million?
Post time in 1 minute, 1 minute to post.
Maryland Million Day at Laurel Racetrack. Everyone who's anyone in the state's horse world is here. The top breeders have come to see which stallions will produce winners in the day's 11 races.
And they're off in the Maryland Million.
It's the best advertising in the world, you know, for your foals to run on a day that's showcased to the whole state and the whole region.
For Billy Boniface and his family, this is the most important racing event of the year.
I like to see one of my stallions have a full win and if I see that, it'll make it a really good day. But I brought the kids today, and it was nice to have them out and see what horse racing's all about.
Settles in at fourth on the inside is Coney Island Girl up close to the pace, 3 lengths in the lead. Chewy 2-5.
By the 7th race, it's been a frustrating day. 3 races, 3 losses for the horses Billy hoped to see win. The biggest race of the day is still to come. Testing, the son of DT, is running in the Classic. But the kids are so restless, and after so much disappointment, the Bonifaces decide to leave. Shortly after, the Classic is about to start.
Testing. Watchman's warning.
Testing is in post position number 9, far to the outside.
P-Day.
At age 7, he's the old man in a lineup of young runners.
Headed immediately to the front, B-flat major and lightning paces. Now the long shot away, good order and concerned minister. Away with the pace as well. Not going too fast.
It doesn't look good.
Stern, as they move
Testing's running second to last.
lightning paces, trying to get a short lead.
But suddenly, from the back of the pack, he bursts onto the scene.
Here comes Testing on around 6 lengths from the lead. Perfect to the T is right there too, about 7 lengths in the front. Then slide your Watchman's warning.
He charges to the outside and pours on the speed.
P-Day and Testing on the outside. P-Day's out of that rail. 1 furlong to go. Watchman's warning.
Into the stretch, Testing makes a bold push for the wide.
Has dropped out of it. Testing in front with a 60th of a mile to go. This is not a test. This is the Maryland Million Classic winner. Testing, and he darts home to win by 2.5. Watchman's warning, then P-Day followed up.
Like his father, Testing shows the heart of a champion. Another son of deputed testimony makes it to the winner's circle.
Testing coming back on the winners.
It was kind of nice, the biggest race of the day, the Classic, for deputed testimony to jump up and have a winner with Testing. For Bonita Farm, it was nice to win the big one.
Back at the farm, deputed testimony enjoys life, unaware that his reign as a top stallion has been upheld for a while longer. For Bill, despite the fact that he had to sell Testing, there's a silver lining.
Well, I really felt good to see the old horse come down there and win. It's, you know, he so much typifies the get of deputed testimony. They have longevity going for them. They run later in life, and they give you everything they've got every time they go out there.
Bud! What's up, boy? Hang up, bud.
In the yearling field, the trainees are getting some time off.
What's up?
Perhaps one day, Billy's favorite, Bud, will take over where the old family hero, DT, leaves off.
Whose boy are you, huh? Huh? You my knucklehead, huh?
With breaking behind them, Billy and Bud have passed a milestone
All
together.
right, knucklehead.
There's still a long road ahead,
Thank you.
but Bud won't have to run it alone.
I will be there the day he runs at the track the first time. And I'm not usually there for him when they run at the track, but I'll be there for that one.
Next time on Thoroughbred, horses aren't the only ones in training at Bonita Farm.
Get your girth tight.
Bill and Billy go to Kentucky in search of the perfect female. And the end of an era approaches.
Hi, sweetheart.
At Bonita Farm, two would-be jockeys get more than they bargained for.
Faster, Mike, faster!
When they accomplish the feat of riding, their character improves.
Bill and Billy go to Kentucky in search of the perfect female.
She just caught my eye. The good-looking girl on the block.
And the farm hurtles toward a brand new era.
I've lived my whole life to take over for my father and train.
Two young men have come to Maryland's Bonita Farm with the same dream, to become professional jockeys. They're counting on the Boniface family to show them the ropes and to teach them how to be the best.
Yeah, you wanted a half-mile pole, son.
But there's a lot more to riding racehorses than meets the eye.
You know, there's an old expression that there's something about the outside of a horse that's good for the inside of a person. And a lot of times we'll bring young people in here that, you know, they may be stumbling along and getting in a little trouble with the law here and there, whatever. And when they get the horsemanship and they accomplish the feat of riding, their character improves. And a lot of them have come back and said how it changed their life. So it's satisfying.
Ryan Fogelsonger and Mike Thomas may have hopes of fame and fortune, but with Bill Boniface at the helm, being a jockey isn't all about glamour.
I mean, we have them mucking stalls too, not just riding. And I think the horsemanship part in that regard helps them later on when they ride.
Okay, welcome a few last guys. I'll call you down and get your bandages off.
Bill's son, assistant trainer Kevin Boniface, passes on to the boys the lessons his father instilled in him years ago.
All right, listen, guys. These are the things I'm talking about you should be past. You should be past me checking your bridle, checking your girth, doing those kind of things. You should be past those little things. Exercise your mind. Always concentrate on what you're doing at all times. Concentrate on the task at hand and complete it.
You're gonna jog to the wire.
Today, the two riders will have a chance to show how well they're doing by running their horses at top speed.
Before the gate.
Ryan is really starting to grasp what the Bonifaces are teaching him.
They take time out of their day just to teach you little things, and it's all the little things that really count in this game, so it's amazing. They're really good people.
Mike's having a harder time. He's an ex-boxer who has the right size and strength to be a jockey, but very little riding experience.
I don't think boxing is as dangerous as horses. I think horses you can get more seriously injured. Kevin said to me, you gotta know how to control your fear. And you never let the horse know that you're scared, but sometimes they can feel it.
This morning's workout will be as close to actual racing as Mike and Ryan will get at the farm. If they ever want to hit the racetrack for real, they must kick everything they've learned so far into high gear.
I tell them it's always, riding is like a good golf swing. I mean, so many things got to come together at the right time. I told one boy the way the horse has got to be working and how far he's got to be behind the other horse. So he's got to concentrate on so many things, and they got to do it all. And I'm asking them to do it today, and they're both a little rattled.
It's showtime. Ryan seems like a natural.
He's got beautiful form on a horse. Keeps a nice, what you call level back. His back, you could put a cup of coffee on his back and it wouldn't spill. And if he's thinking about things and working and thinking all the time, then he's going to get that mind sharpener. When your mind sharpener is a 1/5 of a second is a length. So if it takes you a second to make a decision, you're going to lose the race. So I want him to exercise that mind.
Kevin comes up out of nowhere and will teach me something new all the time. There's just so much information I've learned just in the past 5 months that's helped me out. It's just amazing.
off the fence, 3-pass.
Now this boy is not getting his horse rolling.
Mike's having a tougher time.
Faster, Mike, faster!
Mike's got to start showing me that he's not scared. You know, you can see apprehension in him. You can't be that way around horses, so, you know, he has to get more confidence in his riding. See, he's figuring out his horse isn't going the speed he wants to.
You don't realize how fast you're going until you're on his back and all the things you have to do when you're on his back. Like, you know, pull down your goggles and twirl the stick and all that while they're going 35, 40 miles an hour. It looks easy, but it's nowhere near easy. It's difficult.
The run's not what Kevin expected. Mike and Ryan will have to sharpen up before they're ready to wear jockey silks. Good riding isn't all it takes to be a true horseman at Bonita.
I'm not letting him step forward and then responding to him.
There are important lessons in the most mundane tasks.
Okay? Gotta learn to get their respect. Well.
And if Mike and Ryan pay close attention, they'll see that the Bonifaces are teaching them about much more than just riding racehorses. Ryan, in particular, has had a rough time lately. And Bill knows it.
That filly's thrown him off about 12 times now. It looked to me like he was about ready to give up the ship. So I thought about a filly that she reminds me of so much. The filly's name was Ridland Rose, and this was a lot of years ago. This filly, she was throwing me pretty regular, and one morning we got out there and she started dropping me. And she got me off 13 times. One day, 13 times. And like I say, I was young, you know, and I was crying and I was scared.